All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Monday, June 30th. We got an 8-game MLB slate to dive into in today's video. Like we always do, I'm going to dive into each and every one of these games. I'll give you my prediction on the side. I'll give you my prediction on the total. We'll talk about any other plays like player props that we like within the game as well. But as always, guys, keep an eye down on the pinned comment of this video. That'll take you to all of my final plays. So I'm actually rolling with myself. If that does interest you, if you do want to fade me, all of that is absolutely free down in the pinned comment. All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. I tell you guys I'm a dummy all the time. They don't suck. They've just been sucking. Get them down to -3, 4 more juice than Jose Canseco in his prime. Tell me you're new without telling me you're new. So don't go jumping down my throat in the comments, right? If you want to fade me, or if you do want to ride me, this still leaves a bad taste in my mouth, right? And remember, more chins, more wins. Yesterday, I mean, we got our entertainment value, I guess. We go 5 and 5. Mets money line, tough one. I mean, we tried to have them avoid the sweep, but they didn't. Kind of shocked there. Diamondbacks battled back, almost got to 5 runs, so that was worth the sweat. Even Chad Patrick for the plus 100 play, right? We liked that Rockies team total over. Yes, it happened late in the game, but we faded Chad Patrick in the same vein. He ended up with 4 hits allowed, not 5. The only 2 real bad losses, and they were pretty decently bad looks, was the Jays and Red Sox over 9.5, as well as the Rays and Orioles 9.5. Now, especially the Jays and Red Sox, they kind of looked like they were pacing towards that, but then it was like the brakes came and they came to a screeching halt. But like I said, got our entertainment value yesterday. 5 and 5 is a losing day monetarily wise, but you know what? I feel like we were kind of right there. We were circling right around some of these spots that we ended up losing, so hopefully do a little bit better today. Speaking of doing better, this ride of the day, pumping some damn crowd noise here for underrated Trey. Marlins money line. This is the Marlins just on a scorched earth path right now. They end up winning yesterday. We got them at plus 165. Drop the cha-ching for the ride of the day. It is now updated on the tracker from Underrated Trey. If you guys don't know what the ride of the day is, it's simple. Just use that hashtag ride of the day down in the comments. I jump on board with one person's play each and every day. Give you a shout out in the next video, win or loss. If you do win, like we see Trey did yesterday, we continue to ride with your plays. Looking forward to seeing what Underrated Trey drops today. If you lose, you still get the shout out. But unfortunately, we got to drop the womp womp on you. We also have the tracker, the Google Sheets that I just shared my screen. That is down in the comments if you do want to follow along with all the past ride of the days and stuff like that. We have the streak and the profit made during that streak in there. So yeah, go ahead and check that out. But all right, what do you say we go ahead and dive into today's slate? Guys, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Do yourself a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe button. Notification bell as well. Let's go ahead and jump. Did that just rhyme? Notification bell as well. Yes, it did. Let's go ahead and dive into game number 1. We got Philly taking on San Diego. Zach Wheeler on the mound is obviously going to skew these odds, but I think it's skewed even more in terms of how heavily the Phillies are favored because Matt Waldron's making his season debut here. If we remember, last year he pitched in the bigs, but he's been in AAA this entire season. He has a 1.54 whip in AAA, a 5.24 ERA, so I don't really expect too much out of him. This is probably going to be a Phillies team total over spot for me, if anything in this spot. I really don't know exactly what to get out of him. In terms of him against the Phillies in the past, so the current guys that are on the team, that's a better way of putting it, not necessarily the Phillies in general, but 40 plate appearances against, 20% K rate, 5% walk rate, mediocre, but here's where it gets a little dicey for him, right? An expected WOBA of 444, an expected slugging 593, expected batting average against a 391. So yeah, Wheeler on one side, Waldron on the other. I'm taking the W in Wheeler. So give me the Phillies some way, shape, or form. Maybe first 5 run line could be a spot as well, and their team total over from a total perspective. Next up, we have Pittsburgh taking on St. Louis. So we just kind of talked about when we did the recap, right? Pittsburgh, what a series against the Mets. They scored 9, 9, and 12 runs, whereas the Mets scored 1, 2, and 1. They absolutely smoked them. Do we really think that they're going to continue doing that? I'm not sure if I buy into the offense. St. Louis coming off of a sweeping of their own, 5-0, 9-6, 7-0. But what I think I'm going to do here is actually just fade both offenses to start the game. I don't mind the idea of a first 5 under. You have Andrew Heaney on the mound, who has been good this year, but also has started to show a lot of regression, which is kind of worrisome. I will say that, but it's against a Detroit team that hits lefties well, and then Milwaukee got to him and also in his last couple starts here. So yes, it kind of worries me a little bit. And then Eric Fetty, who also is coming off a really bad start, but that was against Chicago. Prior to that, he was actually looking pretty good. So hoping for some progression, I guess, out of these two pitchers and some regression from the offenses that have been on fire. But why I'm focusing here on the first 5 under, Andrew Heaney so far this season at home. This is pretty crazy. 6-0-1 to the first 5 under 5. 6-0-1. Now, he has the good thing on his side where Pittsburgh's offense has been dog you-know-what for a lot of the season, right? So it's not like his team has been going out there and ruining first 5s for him. They have been dormant, and then he's pitched fairly well at home. Eric Fetty on the road has actually looked pretty damn good as well. He is, I want to say it was 6-3 to the first 5 under in his road starts so far this year. So hopefully both these guys can go out there and do their thing. The good news is, and using our dashboard, I'll show you guys this dashboard again later on in the video and how to get it, but go to GuyBostonSports.com, check the members area if you don't want to wait. The good news is we're going to see a lot of sinkers out of Fetty. Okay, well, the sinkers aren't exactly a pitch that this Pittsburgh team hits. The slider, not exactly a pitch they hit either, right? Flip it over. We have the fastball coming from Andrew Heaney. Okay, well, St. Louis not all that great against the fastball, and really not all that great against lefties in general, right? So I do think this could be a good spot for a first 5 under. If I had to pick a side, I would say whoever ends up, I'd chase the plus money, essentially. I think that this is going to be a spot in which we have a pretty good 50-50 chance of who's going to win. Both teams looking good coming off their last series, that type of a thing. I would say the spot is probably favoring Pittsburgh because they get to stay at home, whereas St. Louis had to travel, but it's not a crazy travel. So whoever has the plus money is probably where I'd look. But I do like that first 5 under as my main lead in this one. It's got a chance to be in a final play, a strong chance. Toronto taking on the Yankees. I will say this is a game that you can pretty much make an argument on either side. For example, I do like the Yankees today. Rodon on the mound for them, going up against Scherzer. Scherzer's obviously the bigger name and probably historically the better pitcher, but I don't know how much I fully trust him in his last couple starts here so far, right? Like 3 innings pitched, 2 earned against Baltimore. Cleveland, he went 5 innings pitched, 3 earned, 3 walks on 4 strikeouts. We haven't really seen fully what Max Scherzer has to offer so far. Whereas Rodon, we've got a good sense of it. He's coming off a really good start in Great American. 6 innings pitched, 0 earned, 5 Ks. I like, and that was during Cincinnati's offense where they were looking good, right? Like they ended up winning that game, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to trust the lefty in Rodon here. But again, this is such a good Toronto offense right now that you could make the argument that they'll get to Rodon and that he doesn't have the best of numbers against them. So I get it, but I think a Yankees at a short price of -129 when it seems like the Blue Jays are everyone's darling right now, that they're one of the best offenses and everything in the league. It's like we're kind of reading between the lines to get there, right? This is just a 500 ball club over the last couple weeks. The Yankees were going through their struggles, but they did take 2 of 3 against the Athletics. They scored 12 yesterday. So I'm thinking that they get to, their pitcher here, which is Max Scherzer, right? So give me the Yankees just for the price. If this was Yankees like -1, and it is out there at -1, like, 50 and whatnot, then I'd probably second guess that. But to be able to get them at -120, I think I got them at -128 right now in front of me. I think that might be worth a sprinkle, right? It's kind of like the practice that we do with the Dodgers. Regardless of the pitching, when we get the Dodgers at a really good price, like yesterday, we got them at -105, even though they have a couple disadvantages in the game that we could spot, it's still the Dodgers. This is still the Yankees, a very good lineup. So, yeah, I will lean Yankees, but again, I'm not trying to talk anybody off of, liking Toronto or anything like that. I'm really not. In fact, in terms of the total, I said that Rodon could pitch well, but this is still a good Toronto team. 8.5 seems a little low for the offenses and the names that we have in this one, so I'll lean towards the over. All right, real quick, guys, before we do move on with the rest of the games, I want to talk to you about Sleeper, specifically Sleeper Picks. I have a link down in the description as well as the pinned comment. All you have to do is click that link, sign up, and you'll get all of these goodies that I'm about to talk about. You get your first deposit matched up to $100. You put in $100, they'll give you a free 100. Bam, 200 in your account to play with. You put in 50, you can do the math, double it up, you'll have that in your account. You're also going to get a Logan Webb 0.5 out square. Is this Logan Webb strikeouts or anything like that? No. All he has to do is pitch in the game through 1 out. Pretty much a gimme, right? You add that into your entry today, it's just going to boost the payout. Speaking of payouts, Sleeper does a really cool thing, and it makes him stand out from a lot of the other apps out there. Each and every play that you throw into your entry it's going to change the payout of that slip. They don't follow a fixed payout structure. So it's really, really cool. You can win up to like 10x over on Sleeper, which is absolutely crazy, right? If you're one of the lucky ones, you'll do that. But they also are dropping a bunch of promos just throughout the week, random times, everything like that. So go check it out, guys. Again, I've been using Sleeper for a long time, so check it out. That link is in the description, as well as the pinned comment. I rock with these guys pretty damn heavy, and if you have not tried it out yet, if it's available in your state, I suggest you do so. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump back into these games here. All right, Red Sox taking on Cincinnati. I don't know exactly where we go in this one, but I have kind of a thought of like where I want to get to. I don't mind the idea of somewhat of a first five under. Garrett Crochet on the bump. I really like him, obviously, especially against this team in which Cincinnati does not hit the cutter all that well. That is a good pitch to monitor for Garrett Crochet, because even though he throws the heat, that's fastball really is probably his best pitch. I do think his cutter is his like most fantastic, like his most, jaw-dropping pitch in a sense. He can fool guys on that. He can catch edges of the zone and that type of thing, right? So yeah, Cincinnati 13th against the fastball, but 28th against the cutter over the last 30 days. So I absolutely love that. You throw in the fact that Chase Burns is on the other side of things, and the kid looked pretty damn good in his first start of his career, right? For a few innings. He went 5 innings pitched, 3 earned. This was against the Yankees, so 8 Ks, 0 walks. He didn't allow a run until like the 4th or 5th inning, though, so he was looking pretty good. That game ended up going to extras, so I kind of trust him against the Red Sox offense that I also don't have much trust in right now. So that's kind of the angle I want to go for the first 5 under. The reason that I haven't just fully gotten there or anything like that is, okay, well, the first 500 we like. What if what we saw to Chase Burns, not necessarily say it was like a flash in the pan, but what if we don't necessarily get that out of him again, right? He's really, really young. Obviously, he's going to throw some heat, but what if that's not what we're going to see from Burns? That's kind of, the issue I have, I guess. So we'll see if we can get to that first 500. In terms of a play that I probably like would be maybe just a Cincinnati team total under. The Red Sox bullpen would worry me, but I think Garrett Crochet puts us in a really good spot here. Cincinnati against lefties really struggles as well. So yeah, first 500 and Cincinnati team total under. I'm leaning towards the Red Sox in this one, but that price at minus 193, a little too drastic for me. And I do have a player prop that I'm liking in this one. It's going to be CES, Christian Encarnacion Strand. It is juiced at minus 160, but minus 160 here, this is like minus 190 on some other books. So I don't mind it over on MGM, but I'm not telling you guys to go out there and pay minus 190. If you can't get a good price for it, maybe it's a parlay piece or something like that. But it's going to be our typical under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Reason being, he's batting 071, just 71 against lefties so far this season. Obviously, we have a great pitcher on the mound and a great lefty. When you get down to the pitches, the fastball and the cutter, so he's got a WOBA of 251 in the season. It drops down to 241 against the fastball. His strikeout rate jumps to 34.3, and then the cutter 100 WOBA, which obviously isn't very good, does strike out less against it, but still, the fastball and the cutter should be decent spots here. So I do like CES under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. My concern, I guess, is that, well, what if we get to the later innings, and all of a sudden he's going up against some guys that, aren't as good as Garrett Crochet in the Red Sox bullpen. That could worry me, but, for hopefully 6 or 7 innings like Crochet's been giving us, we like this spot, right? So yeah, give me CES under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. All right, Tampa Bay taking on the A's. Tampa Bay heavily juiced for a couple reasons here. Drew Rasmussen's on the mound, and the A's aren't all that great. They do have Jacob Lopez, who, it's so weird. Jacob Lopez, you'll hear me ragging on in these videos, but then also giving some praise because he does have some really, really good starts under his belt. He pitched 7 innings, 0 earned against Detroit last time out. I still don't really fully love backing him or anything like that, but to me, he's good enough in a sense. Whereas this Rays lineup, I am now getting a little bit confused with, because they were rocking and rolling, and they scored 1 run yesterday. Now, was that because Dean Kramer went out there and pitched to Gem? I mean, he went 7 innings. I guess you can give him some credit there, but I think the Rays weren't batting all that well yesterday versus Kramer really shut them down. So a little confused on this one. Where it probably comes out is an under for me, or a first 5 under. I'm kind of giving Lopez a lot of credit there, but Tampa Bay, as good as their offense is, they've been worse against lefties than righties. Now, when I say worse against lefties, they're still like a top 10 lineup in baseball over the last 30 days against lefties, but they've been smacking righties. Jacob Lopez is a lefty. The one big concern is that Jacob Lopez struggles against righties. There's a lot of righties in this Tampa Bay lineup. So, yeah, I like the first 5 under. It's nothing that I don't think that I can get it down myself, because it would not shock me if Tampa Bay just scores like 5 runs themselves in the first 5. Right? They have a pitcher that's not all that great against lefties. He's going to throw a lot of fastballs and sliders, and even check this out, right, on the dashboard. I'll show you how to get access to this dashboard after this. Fastball, number 1 last 30 days. Slider, number 5. That's not exactly where we want to be. So it is a little tough to fully get there. And you can see his ERA looks pretty good, right? But some of his advanced numbers are a little weirder. I mean, he gets swing and misses. That's good, but to me, it's just not exactly a spot in which I want to put my hard-earned bread on. So I would lean first 5 under. I'll lean Tampa Bay some way, shape, or form. But this has some question marks. And guys, a lot of the times when there's enough question marks in there, like if I'm confusing you talking about this, imagine what my brain is thinking, right? It's probably a stay away spot. So give me the first 5 under, as well as the Rays, maybe first 5 run line, something like that. Now, in terms of getting access to that dashboard, you head over to GuyBostonSports.com, like I mentioned. GuyBostonSports.com, members area. I'm not logged in, so you'll see this exact same thing most likely if you're a first-time user. You head over to members, you click MLB dashboard, and you'll see, okay, you need a membership required. You can view the membership levels. We have 2 offered right now, $4.99 per month for the MLB dashboard alone, and we still have our all sports dashboard, meaning you get all dashboards when they're out, all access to those. $6.99 per month. The reason we have this available, even though only the MLB dashboard is out right now, is because whatever price you get in at, you can keep it at that price. So yeah, let's switch to a logged in view. So if you do log in and you sign up, you head to that MLB dashboard, and this is what you'll see. If this thing would cooperate with me, you head to the MLB dashboard, right? You can see you get the dashboard right here in front of you. You can open it up. You can download it, print it out. You get each and every game broken out in a visual format to help you kind of begin your research process. I tell you guys all the time, this is not it's going to spit out an algorithm play and you go and take that. No. This is a spot in which you have to use your own noggin, but everything is in front of you to be able to figure it out. You have pitching data, right? You have bullpen data. Even for the starting pitcher, we have pitch mix, so you know what pitches they're going to throw. We have batting data here. We have batting versus specific pitches. Then we have player data, what side they bat from, so you can even bump it up against this pitcher data, knowing, lefty, righty splits. We have batting versus specific pitches, and then we have weather, we have the game total and money line, and then up here you can see we just have some trends for the team. So head over there, guys, GuyBostonSports.com. Consider becoming a member. Speaking of being confused by that Tampa Bay and Athletics game, I honestly am fairly confused by this Texas and Baltimore one as well. In fact, guys, help my confusion. Go ahead and let me know if you made it this far into the video or not, so I don't have to keep up at night wondering, right? Comment 16 right now if you made it this far into the video. But Texas and Baltimore, we have Corbin on the mound going up against Trevor Rogers. Rogers looked pretty good in his last start. 8 innings pitched, 0 earned, 4 strikeouts. Guess who that was against? Oh, wouldn't you know, this Texas team. Okay, well, Patrick Corbin didn't look all that great against this Baltimore squad, right? So all of a sudden I'm sitting here, I'm like, what do we do with this? Is Trevor Rogers, do we really rely on him to go out there and do what he did again against this Texas team? This Texas squad, the offense didn't look that terrible against Seattle, right? 6-3-4. They did drop 2 of 3, but still the offense kind of cruising. Last 5 games, 6-7, 6-3-4. This is a Texas lineup that could not do anything for the majority of the season. You can even make the same argument for Baltimore. So I think I honestly kind of come in here and just look at an over. This, to me, has 4-4 late in the game written all over it, and somebody has to score the 9th run, aka the 5th run for them, to win the game. So, I guess similar to kind of what we talked about with St. Louis and Pittsburgh, maybe we follow the plus money if it's out there, if you can get it. I believe right now you can get Texas for plus 100. They are at home. I kind of expect if we saw Rogers and, Corbin both pitch well last time we saw them, it was the same matchup. I kind of expect the inverse just because neither one of these guys are all that shut down. So, yeah, give me Texas as of right now, but it is a really tough one. If you have a strong stance on this one, let me know in the comments, because I would say out of all the games that we have, this might, maybe you could say St. Louis, Pittsburgh, but this might be the biggest kind of toss-up game. I think we have a lot of similarities between offense and even pitching in a sense, and then even throw in some pitch mix stuff. So I like Texas, but to me, it's a little tough to get there. I'm going to go Texas in the over. But hate to give it to you two games in a row with Tampa Bay and the A's, and then this one, two that I just don't have the biggest of feels for, and I'm just being honest. All right, Seattle taking on Kansas City. Walker on the mound, going up against George Kirby. I expect a low-scoring game. The problem is sort of the books, 7.5 total, right? Probably end up leaning towards the Mariners in this spot. Do I agree with the price at minus 160? No, but I do see some minus 140s out there, like on Novig. We have a link to Novig down in the description. You can get it at minus 144. I also see a minus 147 out there, so maybe that's worth considering. The thing that I would say here is Kirby. I even though he hasn't fully looked like the George Kirby that we know and love, he's looked better, right? And I do like him against this Kansas City team. They do not walk at all. George Kirby does not allow walks. I mean, he's returning to form, I would say. Last couple starts, he allowed just one walk, which is like his superpower. Usually he's walking 0 guys. So they'd need to hit him to get on base. But he throws the sinker and the slider. Sinker 27th in terms of runs above average. The Royals are last 30 days. That ain't all that great. Slider 26th. So all of a sudden you're looking at 2 pitches that he's going to throw the majority of, and Kansas City shouldn't necessarily be able to hit. Now, do we fully trust Seattle to put up a big number against Michael Wacha? I wouldn't go that far, but I am giving the edge to Seattle. So if we can get a good price for Seattle, I guess I would lean in that direction, but I think ultimately some way, shape, or form the under, if we can get a good price, like the first 5 under would not be something that I'm too far against. Last 3 games, Seattle just averaging 1.6 in terms of runs for in the first 5. The Royals a little bit more, but over the season just 1.96. So hopefully if these two teams just kind of do what they've done in on the season, we're at 4.4 runs scored. So if we get a good number in terms of the the first 5 under, maybe that's something that we could pull the trigger on. But it's got to be inside minus 150. So I'll be watching this one. I really don't want to take something if it's minus 150. Minus 145 is probably the limit. So hopefully we'll shop and see that there. And actually, now that I refresh, MGM right now minus 145 first 5 under. That might be something that is worth considering here. 88% of games for the Royals that Michael Wacha's pitched in this year, they've hit the under. 71% of his away starts. Flip it over to George Kirby, 2-1 on his home starts. The season, not so much. But again, he's just kind of coming back into form. First 5 under, I think I like, as well as Seattle money line. Couple player prop spots, and I think these might be light plays because there are reasons to like them and then reasons to not. First one, Jorge Polanco, who we've taken a couple times, and he's kind of scorched us a few times, but under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Against righties this year, he's batting a little bit worse. We do have Michael Wacha on the mound, who's going to go fastball, changeup, cutter. The fastball and changeup is the 2 main pitches. Polanco's woba drops, right? So we like that. The problem is he does have a home run in 11 plate appearances, or 1 home run in 11 plate appearances against Wacha. Little bit better at home against righties so far this year, okay, but he is kind of in a little bit of a slump here, right? And he's coming off a game, I believe, yesterday in which he actually did end up getting a hit, run, and RBI. So he had cashed the over. Maybe he fades back today. And then on the other side of things, Jack Caglione, another spot in which we could take him. He's very juiced, but still, I think this could be a spot in which we invest in these two guys. He against righties struggles. The fastball he hits well, which is the number 1 pitch for Kirby, but then the slider and the sinker really not so much. And those pitches he's going to see 24% of the time. So yeah, we could have a few different plays in this game, including that first 500 and a couple player props. All right, last game of the night, we got Arizona taking on San Fran. The line does make sense to me, right? Arizona coming off of getting swept by Miami. Like, that's probably not the best feeling. But this Miami team, don't look now, they're pretty hot. I will say they're at home. They stay at home. San Francisco goes from Chicago here to Arizona. Is it the worst trip? No, but it is a trip nonetheless. They just lost 2 of 3 against Chicago. So both these teams probably coming out a little bit fired up here. This total at 8, I like the idea of an over. Now, the problem is you have Ryan Nelson, who's actually looked pretty damn good this year. He has like 1 bad start, and it was against Cincinnati in the middle of them being hot, right? In Great American. Other than that, he's looked very, very good. You have Logan Webb, who, though he's had his ups and downs, Logan Webb's downs are like still very good. He's going to pitch deep into games. He's going to pitch very well. And he's coming off of 13 innings against this Arizona team dating back to 2024 of 13 innings straight of no runs allowed. So that's tough to take an over, but I think that's why we're getting a good price behind it. I'm going to lean towards the over in this one. I don't think San Fran's offense is necessarily going to show up on the road against Ryan Nelson. And he's going to throw a lot of fastballs, right? Not exactly the best pitch. The problem on the other side of things is that the sinker slider from Logan Webb are the 2 pitches that he's going to throw. I don't necessarily see the Arizona crushing it, right? So I'm trying to just pick this low number and take it over, but there's a lot of reasons and arguments to be made for, okay, well, there's a reason why this is low, and both pitchers may be in decent spots. So I get it. The thing that I like is Arizona's bullpen late in the game, and we've even seen, San Francisco's bullpen struggle at times this year. We could see some runs come out. So I'm not saying that Webb and Ryan Nelson get tagged around. There's a lot of data out there to suggest that they might pitch okay. I just like the idea of this one not being over till the fat lady sings, and maybe it is, 2-3 heading into the 7th type of thing, and all of a sudden we just get, 3 runs that way. So I like the over. It might be a little bit crazy, but in terms of a side here, for the price, I guess it would be Arizona for me. I don't really want to fade Logan Webb, though. I think they have the better bullpen than Arizona, so it's probably stick away. Over or nothing, and even the over is worthy of the psycho alert alarm. I get that. But guys, it's going to wrap it up for today's show. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, I say it after every single video. If you did enjoy, show me by hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button down below. We're going to start doing more live streams as well. No set schedule just yet, so make sure to go ahead and hit that notification bell so you do not miss those live streams. We have a great time. We read all the chat and everything in there. So yeah, make sure to do that. But without further ado, catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.